Welcome to Perth's #1 podcast. You're listening to the Jamo and Dylan Show.
Yeah, we're on the way to Dunsborough, little mad trip with the boys. We celebrate.
G'day guys and welcome back to another episode of the Jamo and Dylan Show, a little Sunday morning recording.
Beautiful.
We're going to church, boy.
We are, mate. I like that.
This is the People's Church. So you'll obviously be listening on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometime during the week.
This is as close as it gets to release. This is
It
great.
is, yeah, because you guys need to remember we're doing the work. You know,
Yeah.
we've got Dan. Dan helps us with some of the short form stuff. We're doing the work, so I've got a busy Sunday, but I'm happy. I'm pumped, and
It's a
we've
good
got
Sunday.
got sport on. Your team's playing, my team's
Crows
playing.
North,
It's a
and you
good
got the
day.
Western Derby. It's a good day.
It is. So we won't dwell on that much longer because you guys will already know the results.
You
but
will. Hopefully positive.
Let's tell you about what we've been up to. So yesterday, a little double date deal.
Yeah, we went to Perth's finest establishment.
Apparently so. Yes,
Gibney.
Cottesloe. Location elite.
All the rave. It's got awards. Sommelier of the Year, Restaurant of the Year, Bartender of the Year, everything.
Bartender of the year, more like bartenders of the year. There was about 50 staff running around.
Crazy level of staff.
Like you almost said there's a staff for every table.
That's how it felt. Now, the place is a premium dining
Venue,
experience. You pay for it. The service was great,
Yep.
have to admit.
I think the aesthetics of the interior were brilliant. Even the exterior as well. It was a bit windy and sunny when we were there, but
Yep.
it was still a nice day. Bit hot where we were.
Yes. Now, the food, what did you give yours? Your main?
Okay. In the moment, I gave it an 8. In hindsight, it was a 7. So this is out of 10. You do a 5-star rating.
Yep. So then I've given I'll give my steak. It was pretty good. It just came with the steak. Fair enough. I understand that's how it works in these establishments.
62 buckaroonies for
Yep.
that slab.
So it was a good steak, 8.5.
Yep. I gave it like that as well. I had a little
Carly's
taste.
dish was, I reckon, was quite poor.
Yep.
And then did Grace like hers? Grace liked hers.
Yeah, but in hindsight, she was like, I don't know. She didn't mind her stuff, but it didn't blow her away.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just like
yeah.
a salad, really.
I felt like the food there was a bit underwhelming for what
you
I
paid,
expected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, did we enjoy our experience? Yes.
Yes.
But like the pasta I had, I can't remember the name, but it was the first one on the pasta list.
Yeah.
Check out the menu if you'd like.
Consigliere or something.
Something like that. Now that, if I had to rank it with like pastas I've had in my life,
Yep.
it's probably in like the 30s.
Yep. That's low.
However, I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy my pasta. So
And then,
Yeah.
Carly's was a
like a seafood pasta.
clam
right?
pasta,
Yeah.
clam spaghetti. And she gets that often. And I've tasted probably 10 better versions of that. And I said that the flavor of it had a common taste. And I wasn't sure what it was. I said it had like a quiche flavor to it. And she said it had a the bacon shapes
Cheese
flavor.
and bacon, yeah.
So that's not what it should be.
That's not what you're hoping for.
No,
a
so
clam spaghetti.
I'm surprised that like food critics come there and go Restaurant of the Year.
Yeah.
And I think the service and all that was unreal, but I'm just saying the mains, I think, were underwhelming.
Yeah. I was saying to Grace, and this is just like
I hate to say it, but it's the truth.
this is a complete personal opinion. I love my like pub foods. Your standard, easy, just bang, you like them, you know you do. If there were just quality versions of that, and this is just my opinion,
yeah.
right? That location, but with pub foods, mate, I'd be there every weekend.
Well, I think there comes a point where the cost of the meal, right, is never gonna correlate to the value of it, because it can't when food gets that expensive, because it can't really be that much better than like you go for your $25 steak and chips on a Wednesday night, comes with a pint, and you go, living,
exactly.
you know.
Exactly. When the cost gets too high, you start to put too much thought into the meal, and then you're like, hang on, that's actually not worth it.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of these high-end restaurants are trying to trick you into believing it tastes better because it's more expensive.
Yeah.
When really, there's no difference.
And the guy's next to us. The guy.
lads.
See, this guy walks in, and initially, we judged him because he had an RVCA snapback on.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He was just dressed not what you would think someone going there to Gibney in a fancy area.
Dressing like someone walking into a TAB on a Saturday morning.
Sits down and his mate joins him. pretty early on from eavesdropping, you can tell they've got some money.
Yeah, a lot.
I have a feeling it could be from the parents, maybe.
Yep.
They were probably in their 30s.
And for let's say we're there for 2 hours.
Yep.
All they talked about was money. The entire time.
Yep.
It was unbearable.
Yep.
There was like some nice people, some nice looking people and stuff that were obviously enjoying their meals.
Yes.
We just happened to be sat next to the two talking about their finances.
When when yous all went to the toilet, right?
Yeah.
I messaged Carly. So as soon as you guys left, they were like, "Did they leave you with the bill man?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Nah, like they just went to the bathroom, all good." And he goes, "Oh, we were gonna say like, pull the table over here. Like you have a way better fucking time with us than you would with them." And I was like,
Because when
they
I
actually said that to me, bro.
when I came back, they said, "Oh, do you reckon they're coming back?"
yeah.
And then I was like, well, you don't understand that we've been together for a combined decade. We've literally been like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, interesting
Anyway.
guys, man.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, it's not much of a loss if they don't come back anyway. Something like that.
Yeah, he said something like that. And then Carly reckons he was being a flog about the wine to the waitresses.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
it
you
was
can't,
weird.
you can't be dressed like that, acting like that about the wine.
Anyway,
boy.
man, it was a good experience. Like it's a great venue.
Oh, I
honestly.
had fun.
But I just think it's the value for money. It's a C. It's a C
Yeah.
minus.
I had an Italian beer, Peroni,
Yep.
and then I had a Sapporo.
the drinks were good,
Japanese,
but
yeah.
I mean that's not really on them, is it?
No,
they
no,
don't
no.
make them in house, mate. Shout out breweries.
Yeah, shout out breweries. We're that working class, you know?
But yeah, it was a good experience.
Definitely was. Last night, this was pretty impromptu, just out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
I went to an AC/DC concert.
There you go,
Right.
mate.
City of Gosnells, they put on a free tribute band show,
Nice.
right? Down near the amphitheatre. At night, this thing comes alive.
Yeah?
Right? With people and live music and a bit of effort.
You see anyone you know?
Yeah. Do you want to take a guess? So, it's one of our friends that we've been friends with like all through school and stuff. Their mother
One of our
dancing the night away.
We've been friends with all through school.
Yeah, I'll give you 3 guesses. Okay, Dill's writing it down here. No. Damn. That's a decent guess.
Yeah?
I like it. They're not in our group of 10.
Ooh.
Oh, Dill's having a little guess here.
Not in our group of 10, but we knew them through school.
Yeah. We knew them post school as well.
But it's drifted.
Yes.
This is tough.
Do you want to keep playing the guessing game, or do you just want me to feed it to you? Spoon feed it.
I wouldn't mind keep playing, but obviously I know that's going to take time out of the... You keep telling the story and I'll write it down as it comes
Okay,
to my
all right,
mind.
all
Yeah,
right.
so we
Well,
can keep the show rolling.
There's actually not much to the story of the mum that I saw
but just
there.
in general,
In
continue
general.
the night on, yeah.
Okay, so basically, Dad had 2 tickets. I had to scan some stuff on the printer, right?
Yep.
And I saw these 2 tickets sitting on top, and it was like AC/DC The Experience Australia.
Yep.
Free tickets, but it's a ticketed event, so you just got to make sure you get your free
Nice.
tickets, and then you head down there. I reckon there was like 1,000 to 2,000 people.
Oh, shit.
Amphitheatre packed. I'll show you a photo that I took.
Was the
from
cover
top.
band good?
Yeah, boy. It's hard to see, but look at the
Bro,
it's all packed, and then they're down there on stage.
okay. I respect it.
I'll show you a little video of the band. Anyway, so the band were really good,
Yep.
and they're called AC/DC Experience Australia, or the Australian AC/DC Experience, something like that. Turns out there's about 10 tribute bands across Australia.
Yep.
And they go to, country towns, pubs, taverns, all that stuff.
And just make magic happen.
Yeah. Now, these guys were really good. Dad was impressed. And I just went down because Dad got 2 tickets. And I was like, well, who are you going with? And he goes, I might just pop down by myself. I was like, I'm not letting that happen.
I know
Not
what you
letting
mean.
that
That's
happen.
sad.
So I go down with Dad. We go down for like 1.5 hours, 2 hours. So the first half was Cold Chisel tribute band.
Oh, yeah.
Second half AC/DC.
This is so Australian.
We just went down for the second half. Left side of the amphitheatre is family friendly. You've got your churros.
Yep. Churros.
Your churros
Van.
van. There's
Yep.
there's a few
Food
vans
vans.
down there, and it's family friendly. You've got picnic blankets, chairs, heaps of families. Right side, Bogan Central, boy. alcohol
Beers.
section.
Oh, yeah.
And it was Gosnells.
Southern Cross tats everywhere.
Mate, it was Gosnells to a T. Anyway, so we're watching the band, and the energy from the front man and the guy on the guitar, Angus, you know how he does that?
Yeah. Did someone have the moves?
Yeah, he had the moves. But the energy was something like I've never seen before. They were putting their all into it, right?
Yeah.
Dad and I were out the back, like, where we could take it all in, and the sound was really good. But halfway through, they had an interval, and we walked down and walked like backstage, side stage, just to get a closer look. Dad likes to look at that stuff because he was involved with some of that stuff in the past. We go there, we see them out the backstage, and they're beaming, bro. Like their eyes, I reckon, front man and guitar, they were off their chops.
So on it, bro.
They were
just
on it,
rocking out, thinking
right?
they're playing at Wembley.
For those watching on the YouTube, just watch what I'm about to do here. So the lead singer, right? His eyes are beaming, and he just looks at Dad and I, and he's like, and he's just gone nuts. He's like,
yeah.
And
How
then,
old were these blokes?
I reckon lead singer 40,
Yep.
but like good shape.
Decent pipes on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like some tats and stuff.
Yep.
Angus was looking drug affected, bit worse for wear, probably 50. But like these boys, I'm telling you, they made my night.
Nice.
Like that, I didn't expect anything going. I thought it was
and it was going to be great. And it was great.
energy, voice was pretty similar, like music elite, crowd good. Like it was actually sick. For a free event, well done, City of Gosnells.
There you go. That's a,
Well done, guys.
That's the planners right there.
And,
Respect.
you know, some people be like, oh, why are they, and this is my guess. Dad and I both believe they were coked out or on, you know, some party drug, because the energy they were putting into each song is like as much as a sober person could do in 5 minutes. And they just went back to back to back, jumping around, dancing, going nuts, right? He even the lead singer walked up into the amphitheater, interacting with the crowd, getting them to sing. It was really good. I'll show you some videos off camera.
Show me some vids.
But yeah, that was good. And then this larger than life woman comes up and stands next to Dad, real close, like shoulder to shoulder. And she starts going, whoa, yeah, like just going nuts, right? And then she like nudges Dad and goes, you having fun? Yeah. And then she goes, I'm a groupie for the Hells Bells tribute band. I'm a groupie. So she travels around with the Hells Bells tribute band. She goes, I reckon these guys are better though.
So she's going to jump ship now.
And she was standing there just staring at him like they're fucked off their face. She's drunk as, and she's like, every time they'd walk over, she'd squeal and stuff. It was the weird experience. But I came home
for a local band.
I came home and like we had a couple of drinks during the day, but nothing. I didn't drink when I was there, right? Because we just popped down to check it out. Really.
Yeah.
Came back and Grace was here. She didn't care for it. I came back and I was like on a high. I was like, wait, they've actually boosted my mood and stuff.
Because they were that good.
They were like really good. And it made me feel like I was watching real rock and roll, because back in the day, these guys would do mad amounts of drugs. They'd go on stage. They'd kill
let
it.
it out, bro.
They'd kill it. They'd leave it all on the stage.
And then they're backing that up.
Yeah.
Again and again.
So shout out to the Australian ACDC experience. Those guys can rock and roll.
Shout out City of Gosnells for planning.
Yeah. Any more guesses, or you just want me to?
Nah,
tell you?
just ride it. Or are you going to tell me?
I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you. Lockie Harrow's mum, bro.
Fuck yeah.
She was loving it.
Just
Anyway,
a bunch of stars, mate.
shout out to them. They're having a good time. And also, I got this photo back from Grace. Look at that's getting posted.
That's so class, bro. Us at Perth's finest establishment.
Go on to Jamo and Dylan Instagram and
That
you'll
we're
see
too
that
good
one.
for.
We'll post that one today.
That we're too good for.
Too good for the best of the best, eh?
Yep.
What's this, Sil?
Now, Evan brought this up in the group the other day, and he goes, is there a legal age to buy coffee? And then I thought, I've never really thought about that before. No, right? But I Googled
It's a stimulant, isn't it?
There's no legal age to buy coffee, because he said he was at a cafe and saw a bunch of 12, 13-year-olds getting some coffee.
Rare.
So that's weird that an 8-year-old can walk into a coffee shop
Double shot.
and get a double shot espresso. Thank you. How is that allowed, bro?
That's funny. Because you can get addicted to caffeine.
So you can give a baby a coffee. A 5-year-old can go order a coffee.
Baby,
Can I have a latte,
Baby Chino
please?
triple shot.
That is fascinating that it's... And I guess energy drinks are fine as well, aren't they? Like a 10-year-old can go get a Red Bull.
Yeah, but I'd be pissed off seeing a 4-year-old with a Monster.
That would be crazy. But bro, do you know what? That's happening right now.
It is.
Right now there's a 4-year-old with a family that, you know, aren't the best carers.
Yeah, neglecting them.
Necking back one of those big monsters. That's sad, bro. Fuck.
I reckon there's probably a mum right now pretending to breastfeed her baby, but with like a green V can, bro. Just glugging it down.
The aesthetic of energy drinks is just woeful.
Yeah, it's horrible. They're like
crazy, bro. Like, surely they do a better job.
bright colours, shiny.
And I think it's because we see it in the hands of bogans.
Yeah,
as
we
well,
see it,
which doesn't help the aesthetic of it.
at all.
But that's life, isn't it? So you can buy a coffee at any age.
Sure can.
Any age.
I got another little mind-bending thing. There's a couple today. This one, you may have heard it, but I know a lot of our listeners wouldn't have heard it. So you know how there's people that live in like the international space stations? You know, they're up in space, they're just chilling, they're doing their thing. Now, astronauts in space can grow up to 3% taller
Hell yeah.
during the time spent living in microgravity. So
Okay.
less gravity, right? So a 6 foot tall person could gain as much as 5 centimeters while in orbit. So now there's these astronauts that have been up there for a few months. They've come back down. They were 180. Now they're 185.
But does the height stay when they come down?
Wait.
I wonder if they shrink back.
I didn't even consider that.
But that's elite,
because
bro.
I think it's taking pressure off the spine.
Bro, I'll go up there for a year. I'll come back 192.
You'd have a different life.
That's gangster, bro.
And you'd have a sick story to tell of,
All right, well, that's a new goal.
We should tell
Become an
Rob.
astronaut. Yeah, bro, he'll stay up there for 10 years.
Oh.
Do astronaut.
Okay, they live up there in 6-month increments on average.
Yeah, I'm 6 foot here, but I'm 6'1" in space, man. Like, bro, new AFL thing, send your ruckman up there.
Yeah, so when
In the
they're
off-season.
18, send them there until they're 21, and then they come
They
back
come
to
back at,
220.
bro, send your full forward. He comes back fucking 202, just massive. That's elite, bro.
So yeah, you can grow up to 5 centimeters taller or 3% taller.
There you go, man.
That's cool. I like that.
All the short people just rushing to be astronauts now.
Yeah, I reckon
Astrophysics is going to get a boost, bro.
moving to Florida and signing up for NASA right now.
Yeah, boy.
Morgan Wallen, right? A lot of you guys know he's one of my favorite artists, country superstar, probably the biggest country artist in the world at the moment.
For sure.
Now, he has an album coming out in 2 months or something.
A big one.
Yep, 37
30 songs, 30
so
plus.
He's known, a lot of country artists are known for this. They drop a 30-song album, and then it's good because you can listen to it for a couple of years,
Yep.
but it's also, you know, it can be a bit too long. But
Yep.
I do enjoy them. Now, he has released, because you know artists pre-release songs, they normally release like their third song because that's their hit. That's their best
The one they're pushing.
But because you got 37, you can release a few more. He's released 6. So 6 out of 37 have been released.
6 hits.
His album's number 1. It hasn't been
It's
released.
6.
What? So you've got all these other guys, you know, they've had 30 songs, whatever. He's got the number 1 album.
And isn't his other one number 2 you sent me?
I think so.
I think his other album's number 2, bro.
Yeah. So anyway, his new album, I'm the Problem, I think it's called. 6 songs released thus far.
You like him?
Yeah, I think 4 out of the 6 I'm really
Okay,
enjoying.
yep,
And then
yep.
the other 2 are like, they're good, but they're not exceptional. But yeah, really enjoying that.
Shout out Morgs.
Shout out Morgs. Love that boy. Now, old names, young people.
We've been loving this, haven't we?
We've been loving it for a long time. And this will probably be the last time we speak about it. Oh yeah, here. Okay, I got it. Fellas, talk about old names on young people. My niece-in-law, sorry, just fixing my laptop. Fellas, talk about old names on young people. My niece-in-law, her name is Dorothy. She's 1 this year.
Dorothy.
One.
One.
1 year old Dorothy.
Dozza.
Nickname, Dotty.
Dotty, bro.
Dotty.
Dotty is such an old name.
Dotty.
Dotty.
Dorothy. That's crazy. 1 year old Dorothy.
She's from Wizard of Oz, mate.
And then
Dotty might be older than Dorothy too.
this one's not as crazy, but it's still in isolation crazy. Her older brother is 2,
Yep.
Frederick.
Frederick.
Nickname Freddie.
See, Freddie's cool.
Freddie's cool.
Frederick is an old name.
Frederick.
Wow.
Cheers,
Frederick.
boys. Thanks, Broden.
Broden.
Broden sent that in.
I thought he was just calling us like Brodens, you know?
No, Broden. That's
like
crazy.
another name for bro.
Broden.
Thanks, Broden.
So that's that. Old names, young people.
Battle
Some
of
cool
the
ones there.
Sprinters. Hey?
This is crazy. So
We got 2.
now I'm gonna say some positive things, and then I'm gonna tear down Australian media. Right? Gout. A lot of you who know sport, athletics, you know this guy.
And he's ours.
Yeah,
he's our
ours.
superstar.
He's born in Ipswich in Queensland to African parents, South Sudanese. Kid's a superstar. He will be a superstar. He's a junior level superstar. Okay, so he is. He's broken world records in terms of juniors. He's the fastest junior in Australia, and he's faster than Usain Bolt was over 200 at the same age. So he's a prodigy.
Sky's the limit.
Unfortunately, we have put so much pressure on him already, and he's 17 years old, right? He's not even 18 yet. So he's got all this pressure. He's been doing 60 Minutes or Current Affairs, stuff like that. Australia knows about him. Even if you don't know his name, you've probably seen him on your TV, right?
For sure.
This is great. Who we don't know much about is this kid called Lachlan Kennedy. Lachlan Kennedy's a bit older.
And another superstar.
21 years old. Is that still young? I would say so.
For sure.
He's a 21-year-old kid. He raced in the men's indoor 60-meter final recently in China. 60 meters,
And
that's a dash.
He's got pace.
His starts are electric. He's the second fastest man in the world over 60 meters.
Yep.
Currently, he actually holds the fastest time over 60 meters on the planet.
Okay.
So in Australia, we have the fastest man in the world, white man as well, which is quite incredible, over 60 meters. Okay, that's incredible. Why haven't we heard about that?
I know.
Because the news doesn't do anything about it.
But I guess because it's a bit of it's not a niche length, but it's not a...
I agree.
Yeah, I feel like that's maybe why.
I agree, but still give him a little bit.
Yeah.
Even just like to take a little bit off Gout. Give a little bit to Lachlan Kennedy.
Maybe we're in for a 4x100 relay gold one day with these two.
So Lachlan Kennedy can also run 100.
Yep.
Australia have only ever had one man ever go sub 10 seconds, which was Patrick Johnson or something, 9.96. So I don't think we're winning a gold anytime soon. However, Lachlan Kennedy can do it in like a 10.02 or 03.
Okay, elite.
So really, really quick over 100.
I'm sure Gout can run a quick hundo.
Yeah, but his main is 200 because his last 50 is electric, right?
Yeah.
So Lachlan Kennedy doesn't do many 200s, and they had a race it was actually last night, and it was Lachlan Kennedy versus Gout, and Australia's are the best.
In a 200?
In a 200, along with 2 Japanese guys, a Sri Lankan. We're just getting some people for some competition, right?
Yeah.
Gout has never raced against men in his life. There was his first ever professional race.
Okay.
That's not juniors.
Yeah, yep.
Everyone's talking about Gout. Bruce McAvaney's commentating. He already has stuff written at if he wins. Like, this kid's going to be a star, whatever.
What happened?
Lachlan Kennedy leads from the start, leads for the whole race, and beats Gout, right?
Okay.
Over 200.
What time did he run?
19.19
That's Usain Bolt.
is Usain Bolt.
So Kennedy ran a 20.26 last night.
Yeah. So a second away from Bolt.
Gout clocked a 20.30.
Yeah. So they were very close, and Gout nearly got him on the line.
Yeah.
But it was just this like incredible hype for Gout, who, don't get me wrong, is going to be a superstar, and I'm in his corner, but I think too much media can damage him.
Yeah.
Too much hype, too much this, too much that. And I guess
let him be, let him grow.
Yeah, exactly. He's not even grown into his body yet. He's like a skinny kid who doesn't even look like a sprinter. Because your sprinters are normally, I guess Bolt was an exception. He was 6'5".
He was the first
monster.
that I remember being tall, bro. Usually they're quite short and just boom, boom,
strong.
boom, boom.
They're powerful, which is the Lachlan
They're
Kennedy
bulldogs like Rog.
Yeah. Rog dogs. Anyway, so yeah, Lachlan Kennedy got the chocolates in that. Also, the bloke who won it's weird. The bloke who won the 200 at the Paris Olympics from Botswana, Tobago, he came over and ran a 400.
Yep.
Came second to another Botswanian.
Yep.
To another Botswanian man. Chose not to run in the 200 though. He
Why is that?
probably would have smoked him though because he's the best at the moment. I'm not sure why. apparently like runners peak at certain points, so they'll do different runs, and then their peak will be in a certain month.
I got ya.
So he's just started his campaign. But yeah, the sprinting stocks in Australia, which never look good, are starting to look a bit more fruitful.
Maybe we can compete, bro.
And it may not even be like gold medal areas for these two.
But it could be a medal.
Or it could be just in the final. We never have that.
Would be good. Yeah, we never do.
So that's elite.
But you know, like I look at, bro, if Italy can get gold medalists in the sprints, there's no reason why we can't.
Yeah, especially with how...
We're a better sporting nation than most.
Because sprinting is a lot to do with genetics, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And
there's a lot to it.
As every country seems to be getting more multicultural, we're going to have people that are capable. So every country...
With the African descent, bro.
Every country's going to have, medal chances over the next decade, really.
Yeah.
But it's all gearing towards the Olympics in Brisbane, which is 2032. That's when it'll be like we've got some superstars.
Well, even what'll Gout be in? He'll be what, 1920 for the US?
Yeah.
2028 Olympics?
Yeah.
Because he's 18 20. This year. Yeah, so he'll be 20.
And what's he peak for running? Do you reckon it's like a 24 years old? Or?
Yeah. I reckon. Oh, it depends. I mean, you can't really use Usain Bolt because that's the exception, not the rule. So I don't know what the peak is for a sprinter.
But then think about that. If he's like 24 come Brisbane, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Could be some medals on there. But yeah, let's
let him win that too if you like the competition in the race. Like have a bit of respect for the occasion, you know?
I want people to know about these two, Lachlan Kennedy and Gout, but I also don't want us to go, he's going to win gold, he's going to win gold, because it's just, you're just setting them up for failure almost.
Let him compete.
Just wanted to quickly talk about this bloke who complained about who's punching. I sent it to Dill this morning. We got a DM. Like,
meet us in the car park. How about that, mate?
All right, this is what he says. After extensive analysis on your data, 87% of your awarded points are to her or draw. No problem. Women are the fairer sex. But consider that many of your draws are really misplaced votes for him. Don't lean excessively on the draw, lol. Thoughts,
Shut
Dylan?
your mouth, bro.
Shut your mouth, boy.
Are you crazy?
Hey, this is our show.
87%.
Don't talk in our show.
There's no way it's 87%.
And that's a lie. Idiot.
Draws do happen.
I bet you he doesn't even watch the YouTube.
Do you know what people aren't doing in this? They're judging it as an overall case.
Yeah.
We do picture by picture.
Yes.
That's why.
Yes.
It's picture by picture.
Exactly.
It's moment by moment.
Yes.
One moment you guys might be are looking at it on your phone. We're looking at it on a laptop. We're seeing it in a much closer zoomage than you are.
Yeah, because we're the bosses.
They see it on the phone and they go, yep. They're not even paying attention half the time. They probably got something else on in the back.
I'm the captain.
We're studying this.
Dylan's the captain.
We're
the captains. We've just taken over your boat.
This guy. Man.
That's actually our boat.
Yeah.
And anyone that tries to take down our boat, with some weapons, we just kill them off.
Yeah.
Blast them.
We're better than Captain Phillips.
Gone.
Not letting them in our boat, bro.
Captain Phillips, eh? Little silly thing now. I don't know if people will hold the same opinion. I don't know if you'll hold the same opinion, but this is just something that I noticed with Grace crossing the road the other day. So in Australia, I'm sure it's similar in other countries, but we press a button and then you wait for the light to go green with the little person.
Yep.
And then you cross the road. And then at some stage it will go red, right?
True.
So you're crossing the road. What feeling do you get when it goes red and you're only halfway across?
Well, you want to do a little bit of a quicker walk.
Yeah. So you're like, oh shit, like, does that mean the other cars are about to go? Yep. That's the feeling that you get.
Yep.
Turns out that the whole time I've been feeling this, it's not the case at all. So when the light goes red, that's only signaling that people can't start that walk now.
I never knew that.
Yeah, but I've never thought about it. So when it's red, that means that no one can start because then by the time they get to the end,
they're going to get...
Exactly, the cars will start. So when even when you and I cross the road and it's green and we're walking at a decent pace.
I've never been taught that before.
Neither.
That needs to be in schools, mate.
So It's just and people might call me stupid. They might call us stupid.
I've never heard of
I've
any.
known this forever. But
No way people know that.
But yeah, you're crossing
There
the
you go.
road.
That's
It's
interesting.
green. It goes red, and then you're like, "Fuck! I should hurry up."
But it's actually just don't start now.
Exactly. It's a weird one.
I like it.
I like it too. I like it a lot.
I like that a lot.
I hope that does well on TikTok.
There you go.
All right, voice message and Espanol to finish off the episode. Let's crack into a voice.
We hope you're enjoying the Jamo and Dylan show. It's now time to have your stories heard and your questions answered. To be featured on the potty, message the boys at Jamo and Dylan on Instagram.
All right, now I'm going to play it. Will it be 1 speed or will it be 1.5? I don't know, but whatever it is, we're going to run with it.
Let's see what happens.
Boys, I just had this really, really wild shower thought, and I don't know if anyone else has anything similar to me, but the TV I've had in my room, I've had since I was about 12 or 13, and I'm 22 now, so about 9 or 10 years old, and it's just one of those shitty little Sonic TVs, but I was just thinking, it hasn't shit itself, and everyone else I know that's had these TVs, has like, they've shit themselves after a few years, like it's just one of those cheap Chinese ones, I would have paid like $200 for it back in the day, and it's still kicking, and it works brilliant, like.
All right, guys, we've been let down once again by our camera.
Yep.
It overheats. It's not even that hot today, and it's overheated once again, but I'll just pick up from where we left off with a 1.5. This guy's indestructible TV.
The TV remote has the same original batteries in it. Like, I have never replaced the battery in the TV remote, I reckon, for like 10 years. Like, I seriously think this TV is invincible. But it just led me to think, does anyone else have any items out there that they believe that should have been, like, disintegrated or not used, like, workable anymore? Or is it just me? Like, I think this thing is a fucking piece of art.
I'm trying to think what I have that has just stood the test of time.
I've got a few batteries that have never needed replacing. So there is a collectible like ET box set of characters that we've had for 25 years, and you press a button to hear the ET music and it still plays, right? So that battery's lasted at least 20 years. And then I, for some reason, have a Western Bulldogs like little teddy mascot, and when you press him, the Bulldog song plays. I don't know why we have it in the house, but that has lasted, again, at least 20 years, no battery.
Maybe you were a Dogs fan for a week or something.
I think from what I remember, my godfather, who I don't even know what his name is,
Oh, damn.
was a Dogs fan or some shit like that.
Oh, and he bought it for you,
I
hoping
think
he
so.
could sway you or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And now you're a crow.
I would have seen a flag if I went for the Dogs, actually.
True, but now you've got a full forward who doesn't want to play footy, and
Yeah.
your team's in mid-range.
Yeah.
Oh, Adelaide are in a good spot at the moment.
We are at the moment. We'll see how we go in an hour.
Oh, that's exciting.
But what do you have that's lasted forever? You have a vacuum.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't your dad have a vacuum that's been
that
stood
one's
the test
old.
of time?
To be honest, this house is really old. Like, that chair,
Yep.
40 years old.
This one's, I like this.
That's about
This
50
is one of my
years old.
favorite accessories of all time,
That
bro.
could be 50 years old. That helps us every single
This
week.
is magic.
It's like
and its purpose is perfect.
Dad said that it was used for when people would make telephone calls.
You have a
So
seat?
it's a seat on one side and then a wooden platform.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, that's a great piece of furniture. There's actually a lot in this house that have lasted for a long time. That workout equipment is over 30 years old. In terms of electronics, though, I'm not sure. I can't really put my finger on anything.
My mum is a hoarder and keeps lots of things. So
Yeah,
she
yeah.
has stuff that is still useful from a long time ago.
Yeah.
But the old appliances, my mum always says old appliances used to last forever back in the day. Like when I'm talking the 80s and 90s,
Probably,
they would last you a long time.
That
bro.
little vacuum then. We use it in here sometimes. When we did our 100th and 200th episode, we had confetti and stuff, and we just used that vacuum to get it all up.
All I want, bro, is modern TVs to bring back a feature that this old TV of mine had, where you could say you're playing FIFA, and then in the bottom right you have a little screen and it'd have the footy on.
Oh, so you could split screen an old TV.
My brother had this old TV, right? You know, the old ones with that weight of ton. And you could have split screen, and it was a little screen in the corner, and you could have whatever channel you wanted on.
You know,
it was unreal, bro.
You can do it on Samsung TVs now.
Can you do that?
Yeah,
That's
so,
elite, bro. Finally, they brought
I
it
think
back.
Dan Gorringe was actually talking about it, saying that he doesn't have this TV, but he's got people that he knows that do. And
gotta get one,
you
bro.
can split screen and have multiple sports on at once, similar to CAMEO, but on a TV. So that would be a great feature to have. But I believe it's Samsung from what I know, but there may be other ones.
They also have the ones that look like, what are those TVs that Samsung have? And they...
Oh, the frame?
The frame?
Yeah.
I've been in an Airbnb with those. They're actually clean.
Yeah, they are clean.
I like them.
People at work say that they're not the best TVs in terms of like picture quality and stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't care too
I get the
much
point
about
of them. Like, if you want to, in a sleek apartment,
Yeah.
like when I've stayed in an Airbnb, and I was like, that's a nice addition.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
Very aesthetic. All right, we're going to finish this episode with a Spanish lesson from our teacher, Megs.
Clases de Español con Jamo y Dylan.
Hola chicos, ¿cómo estáis?
Hola.
Buenos días. Well done last week. Killing it. Really quickly, pronunciation. If it's M-E, it's me gusta, not me gusta. Me gusta, te gusta. And I'll send you a little list, but these are like...
Just quickly, I appreciate the honest feedback.
It hurts me every time.
Yeah.
It like kills me, bro.
Does it actually?
I hate when I realize we've mispronounced it.
Yeah, but it is like we're learning. It's
I want to
our-
do a Da Vinci Code and strap one of them things to my leg, bro, in punishment.
This isn't our native tongue.
The little ways of saying I like, me gusta. You
Me
like,
gusta,
te
me
gusta.
gusta.
We like, nos gusta. He or she likes, le gusta. So we're just going to continue practicing those. And also the activities from last week. You can look up more activities if you want. But yeah, we're going to put them in sentences with today's lesson, which is days of the week.
I like that. Days of the week is great. Great.
Days
great,
of the
great.
week is very useful.
So, days of the week, we have Monday, el lunes, Tuesday, el martes, Wednesday, el miércoles, Thursday, el jueves, Friday, el viernes, Saturday, el sábado, Sunday, el domingo.
Domingo.
Good luck. Hasta luego. Nos vemos la próxima
Hasta
semana.
luego.
Ciao.
Wow. So this is difficult actually because it's nothing like English. So Monday, el lunes.
El lunes.
Tuesday, el martes.
El martes.
Wednesday, el miércoles.
El miércoles.
El miércoles. We need pronunciation on that.
El...
Jueves.
That's a good El jueves.
That's a Thursday.
Hell yeah, bro.
El jueves. El viernes.
El viernes.
That's a Friday. El viernes. Saturday, el sábado.
El sábado.
That's sick.
Sábado is elite.
And then Sunday, which is today, el domingo.
El domingo.
So now we have this here. Me gusta.
Me gusta.
So that's I like. Me gusta.
Te gusta?
So me gusta el domingo.
You like Sunday?
I like Sunday.
Yeah.
Te gusta el lunes. So is that do you like Monday?
Te gusta. Yeah. Or it's you like Monday.
Right.
And then le gusta and nos gusta. Me gusta.
Me gusta, te gusta. And I'll send you a little list, but these are like the little ways of saying I like, me gusta. You like, te gusta. We like, nos gusta. He or she likes, le gusta.
Okay, so just running through that again. Me gusta, I like. Te gusta, you like.
Nos
Nos
we like.
gusta, we like. And
Le is he, she.
yeah,
Cool.
he, she, okay. And then we've got an example here. Te gusta jugar fútbol el sábado. So
You like the football on Saturday.
you like
Question.
Yeah, so yeah, question. So you like football on Saturday.
Gusta jugar fútbol el jueves.
So that's
We like football on
That's no-
Thursdays.
Nos gusta jugar fútbol el jueves.
Yeah, boy.
So that was
I like Thursday night footy too.
So that was we like football on Thursdays.
I like Thursday night footy.
I like that. Wednesday's hard. El miércoles.
Miércoles. This is a useful one.
So what do we like? We like Fridays, don't we?
We like Fridays. We like football on Fridays.
So that's nos gusta el viernes.
Yeah.
Nos gusta el viernes.
Football.
Jugar.
El
Football.
viernes.
So it's nos gusta jugar fútbol el viernes.
Nice.
So
we like football on a Friday, boy.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
All right, we'll leave it at that this week. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and let us know your thoughts on a few of the things that we said today.
Yep.
Comment on Spotify. Follow us on Spotify so you don't miss an episode, and let us know what you want to see, whether it's particular guests, whether it is a particular Spanish lesson of stuff that you want to learn, or anything in between. Have a good week. Much love, and we'll see you next time.